What's up, YouTube? It's the Console Samurai with Grown Ups Gaming, and well, Konami has done it again. It seems they're in the news once again for questionable practices. This time it's all centered around Metal Gear Solid 5. An Italian game listing listed the game as having optional in-game purchases. We all know what that means. That means that Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, is going to have microtransactions, which in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, microtransactions by themselves are not the end of the world. It really depends on what the microtransaction is. Microtransactions are a very common thing on mobile games, free-to-play games, whether they're mobile, console, PC games. Microtransactions are a very common thing because the money they bring in from microtransactions, it helps you, or it helps the developer and the studio and the publisher, and it helps upkeep the servers. So I do understand that on free-to-play games. I do, however, not like seeing microtransactions in full retail games. I think that is a very, I think it's a practice that should not have ever come to a full retail game, because you've already paid. The developer's already gotten their money, and so on and so forth. Now, some microtransactions on full retail titles, I can kind of understand, because as long as it's not something that actually gives you an advantage in any way, or not having gives you a disadvantage of it in any way, it shouldn't. There are things that should not be locked behind the paywall. There was a racing game, which I forget the name of it, but you could buy gas for your car, which required gas, obviously, and you could buy this through the cash shop as a microtransaction. That's a big problem. But something like a new skin on a character, or a new skin on a weapon, or anything like that, anything that doesn't actually change gameplay, but is just some, either whether you call it a glamour item, vanity item, whatever you call it, that's fine. That's your money. I probably am not going to spend it, but the extra money that microtransactions in that case come from, that's for people who are willing to spend a little extra money. It helps the game's developers, and it helps upkeep everything. And it in some cases, it may even speed up the time it takes to get to your next patch. Your next set of add-ons, which should be free. But that's the difference between good microtransactions and bad microtransactions. As I've mentioned before, there is a very big difference between good DLC, bad DLC, good microtransactions, bad microtransactions. Neither of these are bad in and of themselves, but when they take content out of the game, or give you an unfair advantage for spending additional money, that's a problem. But we have yet to see what this microtransaction is. It could be legitimately, like I said, it could legitimately be vanity or glamour items, things that don't matter. You may be able to, I don't even know what you could do. You could change your main character's outfit or something like that. That's a waste of money in my opinion, but completely fine. Whatever. I have no objections to that. But I do have to say, when Konami, when they announced that they were going to be coming out into the mobile market, and that's where they saw the future of gaming, I did kind of think that Metal Gear Solid 5 might have microtransactions, because that actually sounds like something they would probably bring from the mobile market over to consoles and PC and whatever other market they're on. Not that microtransactions or mobile gaming are inherently bad, but there are some things that are kind of dodgy. But tell me what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of the announcement that microtransactions very well may be coming to Metal Gear Solid 5? Once again, I am the Console Samurai, and I'll see you around.